Hey guys, Dave here, and welcome back to another episode of Press C for Carnage. Joining me as always is Jordan Collin.
Hey, what's going on?
Yo.
Jordan, if you want to kick us off?
Sure. So I guess we're only gonna do a short. I just learned how to speak yesterday. We're going to do a short podcast this time around, not a very long one, because we started a little late. So first off, let's talk about E3 and how it got canceled. I don't think E3 is gonna survive if it isn't already. Like it's because it's got canceled this year and multiple years previously during COVID. I don't think E3 is going to survive after this year. I think it's now officially dead. I just want to know what your guys' thoughts on the matter were.
I mean, I never went to an E3 anything,
Right.
so I don't know much about. I know it's basically a video game expo, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the equivalent of GameStop. People just don't want to travel out there
Well,
anymore.
yeah, I was saying, yeah, I mean, in terms of GameStop, you mean like where GameStop used to have like demo stations set up inside the building?
It used to be like the place to go get your video games, and then now everything has like online demos or
Right.
whole preview type things where you don't actually.
Well, and I don't understand, why. Yeah, we're not just talking about. We're talking about E3, but it's not just E3. Any trade show is dying. I read an article the other day that let's say trade shows for farming equipment, okay, tractors, even those are dying because now Farming Simulator happens to be a growing advertising industry for manufacturers like John Deere, that they'll create their product and put it on the Farming Simulator,
like a sponsoring or something.
Well, no, you can actually use their tractors on Farming Simulator.
Right, but they get money per copy.
Yeah, so
sold
they can demonstrate the specs and the like what the tractors can do much better in the game than they can with a billboard next to a tractor standing in a trade show. So coming back to E3, it is an expo where it used to have thousands of kids and child-minded adults come and play video games, talk about games, to see what's new coming out. And I feel as though this saddens me because you don't see developers coming and introducing their VR platform and their VR games and their, hey, we need money. So would this not be a perfect place to try to get sponsors and post your product on the stage and say,
try to find publishers or something? Right.
Yeah, it's dying. It's not what it used to be, and obviously with the online markets.
Well, I disagree to a point because with the way everything is moving forward, everything is impersonal or fuck. It's not.
You're right.
You're
right. Impersonal.
It's not as. Sorry, thank you. I'm having an issue today. I'm having a stroke. So yeah, everything is impersonal now. So everything's online. Everything is in person. So like as an example, publishing. You don't hear a lot of stories about people going to an expo to publish their indie game or to get a publisher to help publish their indie game. A lot of them either self-publish or physically, or not physically, but like send their game demo over through email or whatever to whoever their publishing representative is or they want to be a part of. So a lot of that is done digitally now anyway. So
well, exactly. You take out the legwork, but you also bring up more risk factors of, hey, you're giving your copy of your your product electronically to a company where it's going to go through 100 different eyes before it gets to the chain of command that you want to see. So so you got security issues there, but on top of that, I don't know, man, you're not showing the potential. You're going to give it a brief description in the email you send this file over, saying everything that could happen in this game, except but before you would actually give a demonstration. You would show everything that can happen in the game and get your point across.
Right. So yeah, like an in-person station or something, right?
Exactly. So you have that 30-minute interview or however long they'll actually give you to talk about your product, and now you're just sending it over in hopes they're going to open it.
Right.
in hopes that their computer's even compatible for some reason. It might get corrupt on the way over. Or
right.
I don't know. It just E3 itself. It's an expo. It's the Comic Con
of video games. Yeah.
Video games. Actually, not anymore. I could say that Comic Con actually is stealing the video game genre too, along with other popular avenues. But yeah, I'm disappointed. And I think the fact that they do this expo in one location a year is wrong. I think they need to take the circus route and travel place to place. You know,
instead of doing it in the stadium.
Yeah,
you're
you're asking, and this is where it's like I always wanted to go to the expo, but I'm not going to travel thousands of kilometers to get to one.
Right,
it's not going to happen.
Well, you'd probably be better off going to.
Benefit me.
I would say you'd probably be better off going to like PAX or something then instead. I heard they're better anyway for a lot of indie game developers. Because PAX is still a thing, and they do it everywhere. So
yeah, it's an iconic image that's gonna be gone, and it is sad. But they don't have the negative backlash of what GameStop has. Like, we want them to go away. We don't want E3 to go away. There's no need for them to go away. So
well,
that's my opinion.
I disagree. I think E3 should have died, or is dying. I'm happy it's dying. I feel as though it was hindering a lot of like announcements, because like now that every developer or major developer / publisher has their own platform, like Nintendo has their own, Microsoft has their own, Ubisoft is now making their own. Like they basically, you don't have to wait until June of every year now and watch a buttload of bull crap to see an announcement for Skyrim 500. You know, like I can watch their.
Yeah.
And I like it this way better too, because you don't have to deal with all the bull between like advertisements, and you could just like watch a YouTube video now of their archived VOD of Ubisoft announcing Assassin's Creed 7. You know, like
well, J-Man, you have to realize there's a difference between watching the Super Bowl on your flat screen and going to a Super Bowl in real life.
Right. Or it's the same thing with concerts, right? You'd probably say the same thing about going to a live concert. I get it. I get it. I never actually went to E3 physically. I never got the chance to. I was in the military during its prime, so that was not an option for me. But I don't know. I feel as though the way we're moving is okay. I think everyone having their own trade shows like virtually is fine. I don't see a need for E3 to survive in today's day and age. So,
no, I mean it will hinder the small time developers that, you know, partially relied on this to get their name out. That
okay, I will agree to that. I'll agree that it might affect a decent portion of that.
It might. So now they're going to be stuck staying with, you know, Steam and paying their promotional costs,
advertisements,
which will all be the same. I imagine it's cheaper than E3, obviously, but
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's they're gonna disappear, and sadly, they'll probably disappear without anybody really crying over it.
Oh, definitely. From what I've read online, dude, and article wise, like a lot of reviewers or video game reviewers are like, yes, finally, like, you know, because yeah, I heard it was kind of a pain to run from one side of the E3 Expo to the other as a video game reviewer, trying to get to like from Ubisoft to Microsoft on the opposite side of the building in time for your appointment to see a 30-minute video game demo, you know. So yeah, I mean, and Jeff Keighley's kind of taken over that space anyway. He's created the Video Game Awards show, which is essentially like the replacement to E3, you know, in terms of like showing off new video game trailers, giving awards to small indie developers that need it to get their name out there. I feel like that's the direction that we need to go in, is giving recognition for games that are doing well rather than just trying to show off unfinished games. So, but yeah, I don't know.
There's no such thing as unfinished games now. Now it's just early access and betas.
I disagree. I disagree. 2042 was unfinished.
Well, you mean unfinished releases?
Yes,
yeah, okay.
yes,
but
yes.
We could talk about, you know, there's cyberpunks in that area.
Right, right.
You know, Grand Theft Auto, period, it was always an unfinished series.
True, true. Completely agree. Completely agree.
It's, you know, that's just the not just the CEOs and the backers just wanting their game released to get my money back. I don't care what
Right.
the product is. You've been working on it too long. Like, there's no quality control is just out the door.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
it's-
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we're now tangenting into our old man rants about how video games aren't as good as they used to be.
Well, yeah, we say that, but video games were always trash.
Yeah, that's a good
And-
point. Yeah.
It just wasn't as impactful when we were kids. We didn't understand what was actually going on.
True.
And
True. That's a good point. Okay, cool. Do you guys just want to move on to the next topic, or
yeah,
So-
I mean, what do you got to talk about?
So, well, I mean, you guys, we've already pre-decided before the podcast started. We're going to talk about Deceive Incorporated. So we said it's going to be a short podcast. So we're going to talk about E3 being canceled and potentially dying or is dying, and then we were going to move on to talking about Deceive Incorporated, which we just got done playing on our live feed of this episode on YouTube.com. Press C #4 Carnage. Check it out if you guys want to. See the live gameplay of that. We have a VOD up of we're gonna have a VOD up of this of us playing that with all 3 of our screens being shown. So if you guys want to check that out. So what are your guys' thoughts on the game? I'll wait to give my own before you guys give yours. So, Colin?
I mean, I like it. I think it's fun. It's better with teammates that you can talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's definitely a team game. I mean, it has solos mode, but I mean, I won a couple solos and it's okay, but it's kind of boring, if that makes sense. Like, it's not fun to just like hunt other players down in solos in that game, or at least for me. I think the thing that makes it fun personally is, like you said, it's teams, it's communication, it's working together, it's coming up with crazy strategies. Like, as an example, me and Carnage were playing with a random that we were playing with. We had queued up a couple times together with him. I was mimicked. I was like prop hunt mimicked as an object, and I had a recon drone as my second gadget while being a chair, and I was recon droning this little drone, around the map, and I was spotting people with it that I noticed were players, and then Carnage and the random we were playing with would like chase their butts down and murder them. It was amazing. The game is really well done in terms of like team play. So, any other thoughts, Colin, on maybe the finer gameplay details, the weapons they're choose from, the gadgets, the art style, music?
Well, I was just gonna say, everyone thank Cyber J-Man for his review of the game. Now on to mine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
I mean, I like it. I haven't played a lot of it, so I haven't gotten down to the finer mechanics of like what weapons do what. I do enjoy the game. I find it difficult with combat. That's just a me thing, so I have to have people helping me.
Right. Is that because
I think it's
Go ahead.
not to cut you off, but that would be the biggest con I have to bring about this game, because it's not really skill based matchmaking. There's no
it's random.
You have to be if you're playing on controller and keyboard, you have to be spot on with your aiming because it is geared towards headshots.
You mean mouse and keyboard or whatever.
And
right.
So what did I say?
You said controller and keyboard.
Yeah, mouse and keyboard. You have to be spot on with your aim, or even controller. You have to be spot on with your aim because the gunfights are very quick, they're short.
It has crossplay too, by the way, for anyone listening. As far as from what I looked up, Google said it has crossplay, so you could be able to...
it is cross-platform on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I mean, it's a great game all around. You get to hide and mimic the AI while you try to get to your objective.
Right. We should probably explain what the game is before. I didn't even realize we didn't do that.
Well, yeah. Well, Deceive Inc is everybody that's in the game. You're a spy. And the object is to gather intel from electronics and then try to find where the vault is for the ultimate package. And then you grab the package and you got to go to an
extraction
area, which there's multiples, and then you have to get out.
Right. You summon a vehicle, then you sit in a square for 15 seconds.
That's the object of the game. And at the same time, you got other players and teams trying to do the same thing, and at the same time
hunting your butt down.
Yeah. So mixed with that, you have multiple gadgets to choose from and characters, and the weapons are specific per character, and you got to gear them up. Yeah, and you just basically have to get to the objective for the other team, or just hunt the team that has the objective. And
right,
it's a very fun game, very easy game to
it's got kind of
pick up and put down
to learn. The graphics are nice. They're it's not a AAA game, it's a AA game. Very easy to get into, laid back. But as far as the gunplay mechanic goes, you have to be. I'm not gonna lie, you have to be good at aiming.
Yes.
If you expect to be in a gunfight, or you wait to be the last possible person to fight.
Right.
And be the person that gets in on another fight and steals kills. Like there's no other way about it.
Right, getting third partied kind of sucks.
Third party, yeah. I had a brain fart on the actual term.
You're fine.
But, yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah. So apart from that, it's a great game. If you want to try, if you want to prove me wrong, if you're a shitty player, like show me that I'm wrong, and you can do it. Otherwise, but it's a very fun game. The community it's like 20% toxic, which you gotta expect, but it's actually a very supportive community.
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
local Discord.
I mean, we've gotten teabagged a few times after getting killed, which is funny, I guess. But yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I mean, it doesn't have like text chat, or like it doesn't have enemy text chat, or
that's just it. There's no in-game proxy. There's no toxicity in game. That's the best part. You can choose not even to associate yourself with anybody.
Which is amazing.
That part I love.
Yes.
I love it.
I love how there's no communication. You don't have to worry about people saying slurs in freaking the text chat. There is no text chat. And there is voice chat, but it's only for you and your teammates. It's not. There is no like you're not gonna see the N-word slandered all over the freaking in-game text chat while you're playing or whatever. There is no such thing. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I like the art style. It's got a kind of a what's that game that came out years ago? It didn't do too hot. It was like it has this exact same art style. It was like a survival simulator set in like the 60s or the 70s. It was very colorful. Had kind of the same art style. You like went through dresser drawers and stuff. And it was about happy pills. Like you had to take your happy pills. And if you didn't, the guards would come after you. I can't remember the hell the name of the game that I'm thinking of, but it has this almost the exact same art style as that game. But it's like a Pixar movie, but if made by a small indie studio. So it's got that like Austin Powers Pixar film style, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot. I actually really like the music too. Like I actually didn't notice that the music was basically on repeat in certain areas, like loading screens, the pregame lobby. You hear the same music over and over again, but it's so well done that you don't really take notice to it. We Happy Few. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's almost the exact same art style as We Happy Few. But yeah, no, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't really noticed the music really grinding my gears or anything in terms of like annoyance.
I never paid attention to it. Half of it's like elevator music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You tone it out.
I turn off my music because tactical advantage, but
tactical advantage. I gotta hear if that guy's is a spy or not.
Yeah. And that's the thing too is as a spy you are disguising yourself as other NPCs on the map.
Right.
So I didn't explain that. So you're walking through this map dressed as other people, and unless you engage or get spotted by somebody else, you just perceive as an NPC, and you got to walk around as such.
Unless you jump. Yeah, if you jump, you're almost spotted immediately.
Yeah, there's certain animations you can't do, but the cool part is the developers are so good on the AI that they act and move, and you always think, oh, is that a real player? Is that a real player? Because they act, they don't act like NPCs. They don't walk in straight lines.
Right.
It moves back and forth as if somebody was pressing A and D. Like it's really trips your mind, so you got to be absolutely sure what you're shooting at.
For sure. Yeah, the amount of times I've shot an innocent NPCs because they were sprinting towards the bathroom, and I was like, oh, that NPC never sprints, and then I shoot them, and I'm like, no!
Yeah. It just so you know, all NPCs never actually die. They get revived. Like the NPCs never die.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a robot
no genocide. Yeah,
right. But there's like a robot narrator.
No witnesses.
No witnesses. There's like a robot narrator that like narrates whether or not if you kill like an NPC, they're like, "Oh, good job. You're so good at your job." Like really sarcastic. But no, there's not really any consequences for your actions in this game because everyone doesn't really die. You can revive them if you really wanted to by tossing a bucket of water on their face. But yeah, no, so you guys recommend the game then, both of you, as of right now? You think?
Well, it's a $20 game. I recommend anybody playing it. It's a game you can easily load up while you're waiting for your stupid ass COD to fucking load. Like it's
right.
It's definitely worth your money. It's nice. It's good to play. You know, if it only lasts a week for you, it's well worth the coin.
Yeah, I definitely think people should give it a try just because it's made by a small studio. Maybe not small, but a decent sized studio that's not a AAA. And I think the player base needs to get pumped up. I guess from what we saw, they don't have them out yet because the game's fairly new. But they're going to be coming out with season pass mechanic where like you can you go through the season pass as you play the game and you get cosmetics, like season pass exclusive cosmetics, and they do have microtransactions in the game. And I don't usually support those, but because this game is only $20 and the microtransactions are cosmetic only, and they're actually pretty cool. Like the one we saw today before we hopped onto the audio podcast, it was a guy wearing like a hot dog stall outfit, and I was like, okay, that's really freaking cool. Like they're really well designed.
It is. It's 100% zero pay to win.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean,
and the season's coming out. Again, it will not be pay to win.
From what we can tell,
impossible because you can't change your weapons. You can't change your gadget. Like you can only change the same gadgets that everybody else has. There's very minimal customization. So
right, yeah, it's
cosmetics.
Right, it's only like 6 slots that you have to worry, or 5 slots you have to worry about. You have 2 gadgets, and then you have your weapon, your passive, and your expertise, which you can change out between them as much as you want, depending on who you're playing as. So yeah, everyone's on the same playing field, and from what I can tell, it's going to stay that way, which is great. I would like to keep supporting this developer, so I might at one point or another purchase a microtransaction just to give them some extra cash, because I really like what they've done here. It's fair, it's balanced. There's some minor issues with it. Just like the one like minor issue I have with it, it's kind of an annoyance, is like some of the different agents. There's like 8 agents, would you say, Carnage? Like 6 or 7 agents that you can choose from, each with their own special abilities and weapons and selections. The different agents have different. I don't know how to explain it to make it make sense, but each agent has like their own sensitivity setting that seems to be specific to that agent, if that makes sense. And it's not global. It's not global tie. None of their sensitivities for like aiming down sight speed or just regular looking around speed are tied to your global options setting, which is very odd because I try to set it up in such a way that it feels comfortable for me. But then as soon as I switch characters or agents or whatever you want to call it, and I aim down sights with that agent's specific weapon to their character, my sensitivity is all out of whack. Like either it'll be ridiculously too slow or ridiculously too fast, and there's no in between. So I'm not sure if they're gonna fix that or if that's even a glitch or a problem, because I haven't seen anybody post about it on the Steam forums about it. But it's one of the major issues I have with it, or minor issues, I guess technically, because I'll still play it. It's not gonna keep me from playing it, but it is extremely annoying. But do you guys have any issues with it as of now? Do you guys think it's pretty?
I haven't found any issues as far as the ADS goes.
Okay.
I haven't experienced what you're talking about, but there are minor mechanics that certain areas of the map your character actually get kind of stuck in. Like if some of the doors open like into the walls, like they're sliding doors.
Oh right.
And I've been trapped when they've closed on me before. It's like, what do I do? But that's the worst I've experienced. There's not enough mechanics for there to be problems, in my opinion.
Right. I think we've had stuff fall through the floor a couple times, like that was. But I mean, it's fairly new, so I'm okay with letting a couple bugs here and there go. I mean,
yeah, but as far as moving pieces go, it's just NPC movement, NPC and character movement. That's it. There's no trees fluttering in the breeze and all that bullshit. It's very basic, very simple. It's in my opinion, it's a 4.9 star game
out of 5.
I don't give anything a perfect rating. So yeah, it's.
If I didn't have the issues with some of the visual bugs where like NPCs were falling through the floor or like repeatedly jumping And by jumping, I mean they don't actually jump because that would give away as them as a rival agent or another player. But what I mean by that is like they'll literally fall through the floor in such a way where they bounce back up, and they'll just keep doing that over and over and over again while in a standing position. I've seen that a few times. So I mean, bugs withstanding and minor sensitivity ADSing withstanding, the game is very good. I give it 2 thumbs up. I don't want to give it an actual score yet. Just because I feel like we haven't really played enough of it to get, because I only played a couple agents. I haven't really gotten a taste of all the different characters, all the different abilities you can choose from. There's so much to unlock and so much to do for $20 that I do definitely recommend it though. I don't want to give it a score, but I definitely give it 2 thumbs up, and I highly recommend it for its price, for the replayability, for the fun factor. Honestly, it's just a fun freaking game. So,
yeah.
Colin, have you seen anything that you want to talk about specifically that we may not have talked about that you think of the game? You've only played a few hours of it so far, but
not really. I haven't noticed anything big. I mean, the door thing, sometimes there's entities glitching through the door, but other than that, really nothing.
Right. Okay. So I don't really think we're not, like I said, it's gonna be a short podcast, so I don't think we're not gonna do a crazy funny sponsor this time around, and we're not gonna do a game show at the end. I think we're just gonna keep it short, simple, to the point. We don't really have a lot of news to talk about this week, to be honest, other than like E3 being canceled. I mean, there's a lot of April Fool's news articles out there right now, and I just don't feel like I want to talk about any of those because some of them, most of them are kind of terrible. Like they're not good. So. But yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna call it. You guys good? You want to talk about anything else? Anything gaming related? Maybe you've played something else other than yes, no, maybe so.
No, that's about it.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, Carnage, you wanna cut us off?
Yeah, sure. All right, guys, it's gonna be another episode of Press C for Carnage. Make sure to check us out on our socials. Until next time, see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.